What is up, guys? I do hope you're well. My name is Mark, and today we're looking at r/EntitledPeople. If you're new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell. And with that being said, let's get straight into today's stories. Much love, guys. Our first story comes from Fuzzy106. EM doesn't get that she's not entitled to kittens or my personal space. I work as a volunteer/adoption coordinator for a local animal rescue group. It's a pretty small organisation that I've been there for quite some time now. We don't have our own shelter, but we're partnered with a couple of pet supply chain stores that help us get some of our animals out in the open for people to see, specifically the company where the pets go. Well, in the lights of COVID-19 crisis, and given that our governor issued a shelter at home order, we decided that, despite the fact that the store was staying open to serve the community, we would be pulling our cats out of the in-store habitat and placing them with fosters until this whole situation calms down. We did this for safety of our volunteers and so that we don't create another gathering point where people would undoubtedly mash their faces and hands on the habitat to try and pet the cats through the door. I went in yesterday to meet our foster and to deep clean of the habitat itself. I showed up a bit before our foster did, in worn out gym clothes with my earbuds in. The staff all wear jeans, a store branded shirt and a name tag. I decided to get a head start on the cleaning while waiting for the foster to show. I set up the foldable barriers they use for puppy training classes to prevent people from getting in my way and/or accidentally touching cleaning chemicals. The store was mostly empty, but I wanted to be on the safe side. Our story begins, as do many on this sub, with some bitchy Karen flying out of the ether with her spawn in tow. She said, "Excuse me, does anyone work around here? I've been looking for someone to help me out for almost 30 minutes now, and I can't find anyone." I said, "I'm sorry about that, ma'am. The staff are all in front. They must have thought the store was still empty." Points to staff. "There they are." "Why can't you help me?" "Oh, I don't work for the store. I volunteer with a rescue group." So I don't know where everything you're looking for is. Manager over there can help you." Ugh, your generation doesn't understand good customer service at all. Heaven forbid you should ever take out your earphones and help a customer. I can't believe your boss lets you wear those in front of customers. Manager, who's a superb chill older dude, walks over after seeing EM harassing me. The manager says, "How can I help you, mum?" "Are you the manager?" He says yes. "You should really have a talk with your employee here. He is very rude to me and refused to help me." He said he doesn't work here. "What do you mean he doesn't work here? Do you let random people clean the store?" He said he's a volunteer for the rescue group we're partnered with. They're responsible for the habitat, not us. I can help you find what you're looking for. "Ugh, fine, I'm looking for," and she said an item for the dog. Manager walks off with her and listens to her bitch about how the store has no employees around. Knowing this manager, he's probably tuning her out. His staff are really good at their jobs. They probably legitimately thought the store was empty. I went back to cleaning and our foster mum showed up to pick up the 2 kittens we had in the habitat. We greeted each other and I let her behind the barrier to come pull out the kittens. We made small talk for a few minutes, thanking her for being so understanding about the whole situation, when EM comes back for more. As she approaches, we're pulling the kittens out of the habitat and loading them into the carriers to be taken. EM's spawn notices. EK says, "Mummy, I want to pet the kitty." She says, "Of course, sweetie." She looked at the foster. "Can we hold the kittens, please? My son wants to play with it." I said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, we're not allowing visitation right now." EM said, "You're letting her hold them?" She's our foster mum. She's been kind enough to home them for a while until the health crisis calms down. EM then says, "Well, can't we just hold them for a few minutes?" "I'm sorry, but no. We're doing all we can to minimize human contact right now. Any other time I would say yes, but they're trying to be cautious as possible, especially since it's not confirmed whether or not this disease is transmittable to pets." EM said, "I'm not sick." To which I said, "With all due respect, unless you were tested for COVID in the last 15 minutes, neither of us knows that for sure. I do not wish to jeopardize your health or ours. Please understand." EM then said, "Ugh, you're being so dramatic. It's just a flu. You should stop listening to lamestream media and learn some facts." EK is now crying, "I want to pet the kitty. I wanna. EM then says, "Now you made my son cry. Fine. I want to take one of those kittens home for myself. How much are they?" I said they're $100 each to adopt, but it's not that easy. You need to fill out an application. EM said, "Oh, for goodness sake. They're just cats. I can go and find one on the street. What's the big deal?" We want them to go to good homes that will fill their personalities and your lifestyle. We asked for an application and interview with our adoption coordinator to ensure that nobody winds up in the wrong home. "And you don't think I take care of my animals?" I said, not at all, Mum. This is just a process. We need to make sure that the cats we adopt go to the homes where they do well in, and that the family that takes them will mesh with the cat's personality. Please respect it. Any other animal shelter will require you to do the same. She said, I don't care. My son wants to hold a cat. Let him hold it now. I said, no. Fine. I'll be waiting in the parking lot for them. Maybe you'll change your tune when you're not on camera. The foster said, excuse me, did you just threaten me and my animals? EM says, I didn't know about that. Maybe I did. Maybe you hand over one of the cats and we'll call it even. I said, oh hell no, and I called the manager. Manager, who was watching from a distance, runs over at the speed of a spry, but still elderly gentleman. He says, what's wrong, Fuzzy One? I said, call the police. This lady just threatened to assault our foster and steal her cats. Manager pulls the phone off his belt and immediately calls the cops. Panicking, the woman grabs a still sobbing kid and books it out the store, abandoning her cart. Manager tells the police to cancel the call because the lady just bounced. We waited and watched for a few minutes to make sure Karen didn't come back and that our foster was safe. We had Karen's face on camera so they know to watch for her next time. Hope she does try to adopt from us. It'll be the fastest denial I've ever had the pleasure of issuing. With all entitled parents and entitled people's stories, I never understand where this attitude comes from, where they can just take what they want. It's crazy to believe that there's people out there like that. Our next story is from Rye the Red Zombie. Parent angry that the school is closed and thinks the students are the cause, proceeds to insult my family and ask for cash. Last week the provincial government announced the schools will be closed until April 6th. What my mum found on a WeChat group full of parents of students from my school, translated from Chinese. I can't believe that school is closed. How will my children succeed in life? They'll starve. I can't believe it. It's probably the students' fault. I don't believe that the government would do such a thing. I'm going to have a chat with my children, and you guys should too. Children are so naughty these days. They're definitely the cause of this no schooling. I'm going to have a word with the superintendent and the premier. My mum showed it to me with a disgusted face. I took a screenshot with it, sent it to my computer, and showed it to my schoolmates on a Google Hangouts group chat full of students from my school. Some of their expressions were amazing. The parent eventually found out and contacted my mum, saying how I was a bully and demanding that I delete the message. You can't delete a Hangouts message. He/she, probably a she, so that's what I'm going to use, proceeded to call me an uneducated Chinese curse and stating that I was probably the one behind the no school and how I owed all the parents an apology for my crimes and that I had to get my phone taken away. I don't even have a phone and belongs in reformatory. That bitch went further by demanding our home address so she could call the police on me for cyberbullying. My mum said she was crazy. The bitch then called my mother a bunch of Chinese curse words and demanded compensation, a bucket load of cash amongst other things, and I had to go through public shaming and saying, I hope your family dies from the coronavirus. I took another screenshot of a message and showed it to the same Hangouts chat and the parents' WeChat group. The EP was shamed by the other parents and I had a nice chat with my friends about the EP. EP went crazy saying how she was divorced, I can see why, and that they were humiliating her and that we should be locked up and that we had to pay her for public shaming her. She even called the cops, but that didn't affect anything because she has no idea where we live. She's now planning to move to Alberta. I'm just amazed at how she was ignorant that China had to stop school as well. Wow. Our next story is from Topped Off Coffee. ED sells my $1,500 PC and charges me the extra money for a TV. Okay, so this happened a few months ago. Background, I'd been saving up for years to get a PC that I really wanted for $2,000. However, I found one with all the specs that I wanted for $1,500 once I had earned the money. That also allowed me to get a nice monitor, keyboard and mouse. I also got a new desk because my old one was falling apart. I'm 17 years old by the way. Anyway, in the end, I had about $300 or $400 left in my bank account. However, my entitled parents who created my bank account also have the info to get into it. Anyways, I had all of the things for my PC in the corner of my room while I waited for the desk to arrive. This is when ED strikes. ED says, "Hey OP." I say, "Yeah, what is it?" "Correct me if I'm wrong, but what grades do you have right now? I think they look terrible." I say I have almost all A's and 1 B. Why? "I didn't raise you for a B. Look, it's almost a C already." It wasn't. I said, "I have always had trouble in history. I don't see what the big deal you're making is." This was the wrong thing to say. ED said, "How dare you? I raised you and you treat me like this. I knew we should have aborted you. Your sister has enough to deal with already." He then proceeded to kick me out of the house and say, "Get out of here until you've learned your lesson." I just did what I would normally do whenever he gets moody. take a walk to Starbucks and play games on my phone for a few hours. When I returned home, it was about 7 PM. I went in my room to lay down when I noticed something was wrong. My unopened boxes of things for my PC were all ruined. I thought he had destroyed it, but they were empty. He wasn't home either. I started to panic when I got a call from him. This is how the conversation went. He said, "I hope you're really happy with yourself." I said, "What the hell did you do with my stuff?" "Oh, what do you mean? I'm just helping you improve your grades." I said, "No, you're not. You're just stealing my stuff." "How dare you accuse your loving father of doing something like that? I would never steal from you. I just remove your privileges when you're bad." I'm now getting angry. "What did you do with my computer?" "Oh, you won't be needing that old thing anymore. I sold it." He then hung up, and I can just imagine his smug face. Later on, when I managed to pull myself back together, my dad ends up pulling into the driveway. He's pulling a big box after himself. He said, "Help me out with this." I said, "No, why should I do that? What you should do is give me the money you got for refunding the computer." Edie then says, "It wouldn't be a punishment if I just gave it back to you. In fact, you're not getting it back at all. I just spent it all buying this new TV for myself. By the way, you're grounded now, and I'm taking away your phone, and you can't watch TV for at least 2 months. This was just outrageous. He not only sold my computer, but is using the money for his own self-benefit. He even sold the keyboard and mouse, and would have gotten even more money for them if he didn't take them out of the box. After a few days, with me going to school and not coming back until late at night, ignoring my dad yelling at me every night, I decided to just check in and see how my monthly interest was going on in my bank account. To my horror, when I opened it up, there was only $15 left in it. I was sure I had at least $350, meaning Edie had done something. I confronted him about it, and he just said, "TVs cost more than you think." He bought an $1,800 TV and charged me for what he couldn't make from my PC. The moment I get enough money, I'm out of there, and I bet he's going to be shocked when not just my sister, but I won't be showing up at his family gathering as well. Wow, that is just another toxic, abusive relationship. I mean, I'm not sure in it, because I'm assuming this is going to be America. Well, it's in dollars, so it's in America somewhere. Can't he actually just get him charged for theft? Or is he some sort of minor so he can't charge his parents? Because he's stolen from him like $1,500, $1,800. That's crazy. It's one of those ones where he will move out and then the dad eventually want to get back in his life and it'll be too late by then. Yes. Anyway, guys, thank you for being here. It is much appreciated, the time out of your day. If you did enjoy the content, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell, as it really helps out this channel. Thank you very much for being here. Goodbye.